another episode of Musical Chairs with me, CheerUpCharlie. And today we have the amazing, the person that's very, very familiar with the stage, Jodie Steele!
Yay!
Hi,
Hey,
Jodie,
Charlie!
how are you?
I'm good, my darling. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks.
You are the most adorable person I've ever had a Zoom with.
Oh, thank you. So, are you ready for some funny questions? Some
I am.
interesting questions and some serious questions.
Great. Bring it on!
If you're ready then, let's hop right into it. What age did you discover you loved to perform, and did you always sing and dance?
Yes, I can remember singing from a very young age, like tiny, before my sister was 10 and she's older than me, so I must have been really, really young. But I thought I always wanted to be either a pop star or an actress. And so I kind of merged the two together with musical theatre. But that was very late on in my age. I think I didn't discover that route until I was about 16. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you got the perfect musical if you wanted to do pop star, acting, singing and dancing.
Yeah. Pretty much. 6.
Plus Rock of Ages.
And Rock of Ages, yeah. I've been very, very lucky. Very lucky.
Did you have a really supportive family growing up who were from the arts, or were they like mine who knew nothing?
My mum and dad have no idea about the performing arts industry at all. One of them, my dad is like a builder. My mum works at a gym. So they had no idea. They're so supportive though, but they kind of just let me crack on. My mum's never been, you know, the one that kind of got involved with my training or anything like that. They come to see me and things, but I'm very independent. So, but they're so supportive, but they have no idea. No clue.
You trained at GSA. Do you believe that training should be accessible to everyone, and how can we help this happen?
Yeah, I really do think it should. Actually, I was teaching a one-to-one student today for her first lesson, and she just blew my mind. And she was like, "Oh, I'm waiting on a foundation course at college, but I can't go if I can't afford it." It's a really difficult thing. It would need funding from the government or from a private, very big millionaire. I can think of a few. And it is hard because the schools, you know, they can't afford to just give everyone a scholarship. They just physically can't. So they would need funding from above. So, you know, we can petition, we can ask and ask, but we've all seen in, you know, the news recently and political things going on that performing arts seems to, you know, fall to the bottom of the list. And sometimes I understand that, and sometimes it's frustrating because, you know, we as individuals love the performing arts industry so much. But yeah, I do think
football,
go on, you go.
They get paid millions and millions and millions, sometimes even billions a year. And it's like performing arts brings in more money than football, more entertainment than football, and it's just, in my opinion, much better than football. And they get barely anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's really difficult. It's so difficult, and
barely any government funding. And
and you know, the coronavirus has really highlighted that. But it would be, I'd love for training to be open to everyone, especially from with people from oppressed backgrounds or poverty driven backgrounds, and it's really hard, and I wish I had the answers, and if I was a millionaire I'd give all my money to it, but sadly I'm not. But yeah, I wish. And the other new thing that I've heard recently is that you have to have certain grades for drama school, and that's a tricky one because quite often the people who aren't so academic are more talented in the arts, and so if you're going to judge them by their academic grades, then how are you ever going to see their talent physically? So it's a tricky one, but yes, I do think it should be open to everyone, and it's something that we need to grow and work on somehow.
What was your first big break?
It was quite early on, actually. I played Carmen in Fame on a big UK tour, and that was cool. It was my 4th job, and it happened about 5 months or 6 months after leaving drama school. And I was just like, as if. And I remember Gary Lloyd said to me, "Your life is going to change now." And then I imagined myself in Hollywood and with mansions, and it didn't go that far. But it gave me such an exceptional platform to grow from there. And it was a hard part as well, so it taught me a lot.
You've had some rather impressive roles, including Six, Wicked, Legally Blonde, The Heathers, Rock of Ages, Fame, and that's only naming a few.
Yeah.
Rent as well.
Yeah.
So, but what's your favourite role you've played or are playing?
Oh, okay. So I actually think, well, Rent's my favourite musical. So I loved playing that part so much. My favourite thing ever to sing the musical was the heart may freeze or it can burn, the pain will ease or it can learn, there is no future. I just loved all of that singing so much. So Mimi's my favourite part that I played. And also, interestingly, not that you would have heard of it, but I did a workshop called Zelda. It was based around Zelda Fitzgerald, who is Scott's Fitzgerald's wife, and Scott's Fitzgerald, they were both real humans. He wrote Gatsby and crazy, amazing novels like that. And she had such a life and sad story. She was very educated. She was very bright. She was very opinionated and artistic, and of course in the 1920s females weren't really allowed to be. So Scott kind of nicked her work, and then to save himself of being caught out for that, he made her believe that she was mental, and she ended up in a mental hostel. So I got to play that part, and that was epic.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Seems that when I interview people, my dictionary of musicals really comes in handy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It ranges all the way from the 1950s to 2018, so it's good.
Oh, you are on it.
What is your most memorable moment today? You must have so many. But just one really, really, really stands out.
My first ever show as Elphaba was crazy. And I remember Jack saying to me just before, whilst I was getting ready, she was like, "Oh, there's something I forgot to tell you. Can't remember what it is." And I was like, "That's helpful, Jax."
That's really useful.
And then towards the end of the show, the bit where we pick up the trapdoor and shout into Dorothy and then slam it down, I got stuck and I couldn't work out, and I trapped my Wicked Witch dress into the trapdoor, and I kind of I had to lift it up and shut it down. And Jax came to my dressing room. She went, "That was it. I forgot to tell you to move your dress out of the way."
Well, really useful now it's actually happened to me.
I love that story, and we laughed about that for ages. I was like, well, thanks. But yeah, it was amazing. I cried after my first Elphaba show. I couldn't believe that I'd done that part. So not even that long after leaving drama school. It was crazy.
What an amazing program you have grown with Jodie Steele Associates. What made you start this?
So I was teaching a lot during Rock of Ages. I've always enjoyed teaching, and I never thought about the concept of starting my own school. I thought no one would care. And it's not really a school, it is an associate program, because we don't have a base essentially. Well, we do ish in Leicester. And I taught for Leicester Theatre Company, and a guy called Carl Strickland runs and owns it. And he said, you just have a passion and energy that is just, it's so enticing, and it's addictive for the kids, and they want you back, and let's start a school and call it Jodie Steele Associates. And I was like, are you mad? Are you mad? Are you crazy? Anyway, it took him about 2 months to persuade me, and then it kicked off. And it's hard work, and it takes a lot of focus, which I was scared of because I didn't want to pull focus away from my career. But because I have a team now behind JSA, there's about 5 of us, it's a lot easier. So I'm a very lucky girl, very lucky girl. But I work very hard for JSA, so it's gonna be cool. We got big dreams.
CheerUpCharlie was born due to the bullying I received for my love of dance and song, particularly because I don't fit in with the stereotype of what a boy should do. How do you think we can change the negative behaviour that seems to evolve from the playground?
I think it's behaviour that's learnt, and it's such a shame. And I'm not sure why, boys are like this. I think it's because they see musical theatre as quite flamboyant and for gay boys. I hate that term, but that's what they use, don't they?
Yeah.
Now, my other half is called Liam Doyle, and he is a musical theatre boy, and he plays football, and he's a lad, and he can love song and dance more if he could. So the stereotype that they give it is not accurate and not fair. It is open to anyone with any background, of any love, of any walk of life, and so it should be. And I think it's people who are scared of being not the norm that seem to want to pull others down because they want to do something great with their life. So they were probably intimidated by the fact that you're so talented and you have such a love for this for musical theatre, and they didn't like that because they don't have anything like that for themselves. So instead of trying to find their thing, they wanted to tear it away from you. So it's really hard. But yeah, we do need more boys. I recently, I don't know if you saw online, did a massive singing competition for JSA, and we have picked the winner now, but I had barely any boys enter. It's just so tough because it's like, this isn't a girly thing. Have you ever done an 8-show week before, week after week after week after week? Do you understand how hard it is? Like, it's not a girly thing at all. The girls in musical theatre are machines, and so are the boys and everyone else in between, you know? So we need to beat that stereotype 100%. It's just a learned thing, and it comes from the parents. So parents, I'm talking to you, stop teaching your boys that they can't do musical theatre because it's wrong.
Like, it's sometimes girls as well.
Well, then they just flick them away, babes. Flick them away. You don't have time for them. I'll always think of it like you're up here and they're down here, and they don't like that you're up here. So they're trying to bring you down to the level. Just stay up here and let them crawl underneath you. Let them shout as much as they like. Just let them crawl underneath you. You stay up in the clouds. Honestly, people like that are just not worth your breath or time.
It's like we've got a massive ball and chain that's stopping us from moving forward.
Correct, babe. Correct. You'd be right.
But that's what CheerUpCharlie's all about.
Exactly. We love
that ball of chain with a hammer until it snaps.
Yes, love that.
Have you ever suffered any form of bullying, either as a child or in the industry?
Yeah. In the industry, it's a difficult one. We all know what females can be like.
Yeah.
They can be quite catty. They can be a little bit bitchy. And I think sometimes when you're doing well for yourself, people do want to tear you down, not to your face, but behind your back. But you'll always find out about it. But I've kind of got to that point in my life where I don't have time or energy to care about that anymore. So I just focus on what I'm doing, support others around me, and that's it. The difficult thing with this industry is it's easy to get jealous, but you have to focus on or switch your jealousy to use the people that you're jealous of as your inspiration. Because the only reason you're jealous of them is because you want that for yourself. So use that as your inspiration. Be proud of that person, lift that person up, and follow suit, you know? But yeah, Babs, I went through really bad bullying at school. Very, very bad. A lot of stuff happened which I won't delve into, unnecessary for this, but I missed a lot of school because of it, and had to have counselling, and had a very dark period of my life where the mean girls of the school picked on me, and it has damaged me as a person with confidence and with big groups of people. I struggle in groups of girls. That's why I tend to get on with boys better than I do girls. And yeah, it was a very difficult time in my life. However, if it hadn't happened, I probably wouldn't be as strong-minded as I am today. So, you know, there's a silver lining around every grey cloud.
Yeah, after what happened to me, in my school, we sometimes go on school trips to a big, massive private school that's close to us, and I'm always terrified to go because don't know what the kids are going to be like or anything.
Well, my darling, you should shout loud. You should sing to them. When you get off that coach, be like, hello. You should not care what they think. You should never care what you think. As soon as you show that you care what those nasty people think, it's like they feel they've won. That's what they want. Don't let them have that. Ever.
Do you work alongside any charities?
Well, yes, actually. So JSA is we're giving a lot of money at the moment to show races in the red card. We've given a couple of thousand actually from workshops. So
wow.
That's the charity that my business is running alongside at the moment. And I've done a heck of a lot for acting for others.
Yeah.
during this this lockdown, I must have recorded 100 gazillion songs for projects who are supporting acting for others, and I'm proud to do so.
Yeah.
And Mad Trust as well. I do a lot of events on Mad Trust.
And you'll be happy to hear I've watched all 100 gazillion songs you've recorded.
Well, that makes it all worthwhile, babes.
So now for some funny questions.
Okay.
Here's where it gets interesting.
Bring it.
What role would you most like to play, regardless of gender, animal, or age?
Either Jean Valjean in Les Miserables, JD in Heathers. Twisted, dark part, really something to get your teeth into.
Yeah.
And also, I'd love to play Glinda and Molly in Ghost.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be good. I always start with that question because it's the easiest of the funny questions. Trust me, Jodie, it gets much harder from there.
Okay, bring it on.
What do you still most get in trouble for doing?
Being late. being late to appointments, being late to Zoom calls, being late to side of stage, being late for beginners. I hate putting on makeup and getting ready, so I'm always late.
You know what, Jodie? That's one of mine and Mum's biggest bugbears.
I'm sorry. I'm
we
working on it.
Hate it when people are late, and we can't stand it if we're late.
I know, I hate it too. I think my problem is I try and fit too much into too little time.
Yeah.
That's my
Have you got any very embarrassing moments that you would much rather forget, but you know you never will?
Yes, there's a very funny clip of me singing Fame on the Alan Titchmarsh show, I think it was, and it's on YouTube, and I crack really bad at the end on live TV. If you'd fancy a laugh, check it out. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's a bit like this. So if you ever need a laugh, YouTube, Fame, Jodie Steele, Alan Titchmarsh show. It's great. It's a cracker, literally.
Okay. And now this is the hardest of all the funny questions.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is my favourite question because everyone has one, and there are some really, really bad ones coming out now. And I would have thought most of these would be, the worst ones would be coming from the boys, but it's not. The worst ones are coming from the girls.
Okay, go on.
What's your most disgusting habit?
Oh, do you know what? I don't know, because I have OCD. So like I anything gross makes me feel a bit bleh. What's my most disgusting habit? That is such a good question. What is my most disgusting? Oh, I drink orange juice from the carton and put it back in the fridge.
Oh, no. That's not even disgusting. That's just wrong. If you drink something out of the carton, it's yours. Like,
I know.
No.
But Liam does it too, so I'm like, well, screw it, I'll do it then.
Oh, that's even worse when somebody else does it and then you go and do it.
I know, we're gross. We're disgusting.
You might as well just encourage him.
Terrible. Never adopt that behaviour, okay?
No, I never will. Right, so now for a round of quickfire questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Chocolate or Haribo?
Chocolate.
Text or talk?
Talk.
Heels or flats?
Flats.
I've heard you're a bit of a gym bunny, so cardio or weights?
Cardio.
Cool. Last song downloaded. This stomps everybody.
Oh. Do you know what? I don't know.
Most people have to look at their phones.
Wait. Well, it was an album. It was the Broadway Footloose original cast album.
Cool. What superpower would you have?
To be invisible.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, because you can snoop in on people and see what they think of you. I love it.
First celebrity crush?
Zac Efron.
Favourite city?
Melbourne.
Ooh.
No, Sydney.
Oh.
Sydney.
I was born in Australia.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I love it. I've only been once and I'm obsessed. I literally look at pictures of Australia every day. If I'm feeling down, I look at pictures of Australia. So Sydney is my favourite city.
Yeah, I love Australia. I never remember going to Sydney, but I remember going to Melbourne.
Oh, the coffee in Melbourne's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's just aesthetically, Sydney is so pleasing. Like the water.
The city we most used to go to was Brisbane because we lived just outside it.
I've never been, so I want to do North Australia next.
Yeah, we lived in Toowoomba.
Ah, love it.
So that's cool. Harry Potter character.
Wow, Sirius Black.
Yeah, he's a good one. Hogwarts house.
I'm actually a Hufflepuff. I've checked many times and it always comes up the same.
Harry Potter book / movie.
Wow. It's the one with the stop. What's the one with the stopwatch?
The stopwatch?
The watch that stops time. Where they go back in time.
The one where they first meet Sirius Black, Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's my favourite one.
Superhero.
Now, I'm a big Marvel fan. Thor.
Cool. And now for the last one, and this one's gonna mostly be for my benefit. Favourite place to eat?
My old Dutch pancake house in London. I love pancakes.
I love pancake. I love pancakes too. So should we go for food when lockdown's over?
Oh, babe, 100%. It's a date.
Yes. That's 6 dates with the stars now.
Oh, look at you.
And now for a tongue twister. And I thought you would be absolutely amazing at these. So I found a nice hard one.
Oh, God. Right, go on.
Which wrist watches are Swiss wrist watches? And now you say it fast.
Which wrist watches are Swiss wrist watches? Which wrist watches are Swiss wrist watches? Jeez.
Yay! Woohoo! You're one of the people. You're in the top 3 for the least attempts at it.
Oh, yay!
Right.
Do you know, I do them a lot in my one-to-ones, so that's really bad that I didn't get it first time. I'm always like, why can't you get it first time? Oh, God, love it.
Thank you so much, Jodie. That was an amazing interview.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. You are the biggest charmer I think I've ever met.
Thanks. I do have a reputation of that.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Thank you so much, Jodie. Bye.
Bye, my darling. Bye.
Bye. So that was another amazing episode of Musical Chairs. Me, CheerUpCharlie. And remember to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment if you liked it, because I need all of you if we want to make a change. Yes, I'm one big voice that can help make a difference, but we need loads and loads of little voices, which is everybody who subscribed to my channel and watched my videos. So, bye.